Hello, our little sassy watchers. We love when you come to a Monday sit down with Holly and I. This is the way you start this beautiful way to start a Monday, because I hate Mondays. So
we all do.
This is a good way to do it. Of course, I'm your host, Johnny. Love to see you. And this is Holly McGinnis,
Howdy.
Our counselor extraordinaire. We're going to talk about something that's interesting. And we're going to talk about, you say trust, but verify, listening for red flags. I have so many questions. Let's start with, tell me what this is.
Okay. So, we don't like it when our intuition starts to tell us something isn't quite what we, that devil and angel on your shoulder that's like, particularly in relationships, but it can be other things too. Like, there's salted caramel cheesecake and the angel on my, or the red flags are there that this is not something you should be eating. All that kind of stuff. Relationships are a big one.
Oh my God.
We're trying to date somebody and we really like them, but they start to do things that are like, the yellow flags start coming up and then the red flags come up and we'll be like, but I can fix it.
Yeah. Because isn't it funny that we are our own worst enemies because we want what we want?
Of course.
And so all of us have had that, where the little things start going, the hairs start going, and
Yeah.
but we can seriously ignore things even when they're there, and you're just like, no.
Yeah,
fine.
I have friends that hear me in their head. I'm like doing semaphores. You have red flags.
Right?
Huge.
Okay, so first of all, before we get into how do you listen for your red flags, why do we do this to ourselves?
Because we never want to believe bad about somebody.
Oh.
We don't, there's a saying that says when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
My favorite quote of all time, Maya Angelou, may you rest in peace.
Yes.
Such a great
I love her as well.
Yeah.
And she's right. People will show you who they are. An extreme case will be somebody who gets involved with, and there are people in this world who will prey on vulnerable people.
Oh, yes.
Whether you've been in a traumatic relationship, whether you've had a trauma in your life, they will see that. And they will shower you with attention and love bomb. We call that love bombing. Also in cults. That happens with cults, too.
Yes. They prey on those emotions and those needs.
The weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll start to see tiny little things, like they start to isolate you from people that you care about.
Huge, yeah.
Or they say, oh, that doesn't look okay on you. I'm just trying to make you look your best,
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to believe that this is somebody trying to control us, but the flags start to come up.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a strong sense of self, that can be really difficult. But even if you do, we don't like to believe bad things about people.
And part of me, and I have known to be a bit harsh, probably.
You and me
my
both,
friend,
son.
right? People who love, I love them. First of all, their mistake was asking me for advice, so I need to say that. But tough love, and it's mostly because I've been through just about everything, and I'm not good at any of it. So, I always have this, let me help you because my life sucks kind of thing. But I live by this phrase, which is, we do nothing that does not serve us. So there's a part of it that you all are also, what is it that you're getting from this that you, for some reason, believe you need? A lot of times we feel like we should be treated maybe a negative way. There's that subconscious, because you don't feel your best. And so you are taking part, ignoring red flags, because part of you is getting served in some way.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
We
and
don't
that's not
do
easy
anything
to
without a payoff.
Exactly.
And people are like, oh, yeah, we do. No, everything we do has a payoff. If you volunteer for something, the payoff is you feel good about it.
Exactly.
You go to work every day. The payoff is you get a paycheck.
Exactly.
You go above and beyond at your job, maybe. The payoff may be a promotion.
I absolutely love that you said you go above and beyond at your job, maybe. I feel like she's been at my desk recently.
No, I've done that. And we all do things to we're hardwired to feel good.
Yeah,
So
we want that.
Our logical side may be saying to us, this is not a good idea. This is bad idea. I really should talk to the one person, and we all have them.
Yeah.
There are people in our lives who will tell us the truth if we
Those
let
are the
them.
people you avoid if you really don't want. It's
Exactly.
True. Like you
Absolutely.
can find yourself avoiding them because you know they're going to tell you,
Yeah.
but that's something you don't want to hear. Let me ask this: is there a way to train yourself to maybe listen and spot the red flags earlier on, and at least allow yourself to see them?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to acknowledge them. You don't have to end a relationship because there are red flags, but you have to understand that there are. And you have to be very mindful that there are concerns that you have going on in a relationship. And this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship.
Oh,
this
no.
can be a friendship.
Yeah.
It can be a job.
Yep.
It can be, on the rare occasion where I've had to fire a client because it's just not going to be okay with me. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I can lie my way through a lot of shit with some really gnarly clients, but not all of them.
Yeah.
And I usually don't. This is, when I say that, I am joking. It's a very rare occasion because what I tend to do with clients is I already know there's red flags all over the place. That's why
Right.
they're sitting in my freaking office. It's to be able to start to put those away and be able to give them the idea that people can tell you in a very loving way their concerns,
Right.
and listen to them. It doesn't mean they don't love you. It doesn't mean they don't want good for you.
Right.
In fact, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah. And then what do you do? Okay, so two things. So how do you begin to, as a person who sees red flags, you're trying to ignore them, how do you just finally go, okay, these are things I need to address? How do you train yourself not to put your blinders on?
A really good way to do that is a pros and cons list.
Oh,
If you're really like, okay, I'm really overwhelmed, I'm really in turmoil about this situation, what's good, what's bad, what's worth putting up with, what's not worth putting up with, what are your values, how does this situation affect your values,
Yeah.
who you are, some of us have, and most of us do, we all have no-goes. That's what I like to call them.
Yes, yeah.
Do not try to make me, if I have a relationship, the number one is do not make me choose between my family
Right, yeah.
or you, because you will lose.
Right.
My children always win. Or, doing something to someone else and, try to stay out of the group think.
Yeah.
You might be seeing bad behavior towards somebody that you work with or something like that.
Right.
And the red flags are everywhere. And being brave enough to do something about it. It takes courage.
Yeah,
To
and here's the
acknowledge
flip
your-
side of the same coin. Let's say, hypothetically, I have a friend,
You do.
and that friend, I only have one. It's lonely. I have a friend, and I see the red flags.
Yeah.
But in speaking with this friend, they so want this new relationship they want it. Like, almost, I think, in spite of the fact of the person, they want this and need this in their life. But there are so many red flags, like the fire department is there, the policeman is
Well,
there.
I call them semaphores.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
being on this side looking in, it's terrifying because I know what's coming down the way.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, as a friend, are you able to identify red flags or encourage them to see them?
It's tricky.
Yeah,
Because if they don't want to hear them,
off. Yeah,
if they don't want to hear them, then don't tell them.
yeah,
But then you have to set your own boundaries.
yeah,
Because if you're the friend they're going to come back to when everything falls apart,
right,
don't I told you so it,
right,
but you don't have to, that's emotionally draining for you.
yeah,
So you don't have to necessarily, you can step back from the situation and say, you
Yeah.
know what? Because I've had that happen.
Yeah.
I had a friend who went back to just behaving like a complete ogre.
right.
And I told them so, and they said I was being disrespectful and dumped me on my ass. And I'm like,
Yes.
okay.
I get called
I
many
did what I
a
did.
name. Yeah. Well, and my approach more recently is to say to this person, I love you and I support you because you're my friend. These are things I'm concerned with. I've let them out, I've let you know, and now, we
Do
move
what you want
forward.
with it.
Yeah, because I would have felt even more guilty on that day that it all most likely falls apart to think I said nothing.
Exactly.
And so, but there's always a way to do it in love. And, there was still the risk that this person would be like, that's rude. Or,
yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? Yeah.
Exactly. But when you do that, you've planted a seed.
Exactly.
And it helps them understand that not only are you seeing, they may be seeing the red flags, but you're seeing the red flags.
So as we wind down, I want to give them one tip as if they're trying to learn to see red flags and embrace them. What is one tip they could do that way?
Get an icky feeling about something, review it. Get an icky feeling about a person, reflect on it. What is it? Why do you feel that way? Can you live with that? And can you understand that it might not change?
I like that a lot. Review it. That's important because you're not telling someone, well, if you feel there's a red flag, you have to stop everything and throw it away. You're saying, no, we're just asking you to be mindful.
Yeah.
Keyword mindful. Right
Yeah.
there. Okay, and then one tip for people on the other end who have a friend, they see the red flags, what's one thing they can do to encourage seeing them?
Do it with love. Do it with kindness. Let them know that this isn't about the friendship you have with them. It's about you looking out for them because you care, that you love them that way.
Right.
And when they come back and say, I should have listened to you, because sometimes that happens,
Yep.
do not say I told you so.
Exactly. And
Although I've been guilty of that.
Right. And try to keep the smile internal because you're going to have, you're like, yeah, that's what I
told
thought.
you.
Bitch,
don't
told
go to
you this
City
was gonna happen.
University
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's something we all can relate to, very much so. So remember, we like to give you, on Mindful Mondays, we like to give you bite-sized pieces that just whet that appetite and hopefully give you tips to better situations. Like always, please come talk to Holly and I. We welcome your questions and your comments. Keep them nice and love us. That's all we have. But go to our website. Go to, I almost said mindfulmondays.com, which isn't a website. It'll happen soon.
Yeah.
Go to thequeercentric.com where everything that we produce is on there, all of the different shows. But this one is on that main page. Go peruse all of the subjects we've talked about, and hopefully you'll find things that help you as well. But until next Monday, don't miss us too much.
Bye.